our way to Bowman, Georgia, a little town between Harpville and Elberton. So I had actually bought a '65 Mustang Fastback a couple of years ago and had it blasted, started on it, and things come up as they normally do, and so I hadn't really moved any farther on it, and a friend of mine over here has offered to let me keep it out of the weather in one of his sheds. So we're going over to grab it, and the reason why we're going to grab it is because Troy and I have been talking a little bit, and we're under the same roof now, and thought that it might be a good idea to collaborate on a project and see what we could do. Those guys do a really good job with their hot rod building as far as modifications, engine installations. You know, it's just a lot of stuff that they do tricks with that I typically do not do to vehicles, but at the same time I think it's cool. I think it makes money, and not that money's everything, but when you make that money, it allows you to move on to different projects. So they're going to take on the modification of the body and engine mod and all of that. And so when it gets to be my turn, I'll get to show out a little bit with the body and paint work and the design of that. And then once we get those things in place, we'll be able to do exterior cosmetic work, the interior and all that stuff together as a duo. So hopefully we'll be able to put the car together that we can take to an auction. We're already kind of scoping out auctions that we can build it for. We'd love to put a deadline on it, but that sometimes means trouble for us. We want this to be an easy build. We want it to be a creative build, and we want it to be a prosperous build. So we don't want to put any unnecessary pressure on it. It's something we're going to find our way on. We've never worked together on any projects up to this point, so it's going to be a good adventure, and we're looking forward to it. We're on our way back now to take it off the truck and let the guys take a look at it and start brainstorming to see what there is to do next. Troy's seen it. We've been doing this stuff all our lives, but on different paths. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do with the other side of it. I'm looking forward to getting a hold of the outside of it.
Well, we've stripped the whole floor, firewall, the whole underneath it structure out, put some X braces in it to make sure the body stays where it's supposed to stay, and we've got it welded to the table, the jig table. Next thing we'll be doing is cleaning up some rough edges and building a chassis from front to rear. And we haven't decided whether we're going to do air ride or just coilovers yet. But this is the wheel and tire combination we're going to use, and we just got to build the suspension and the chassis to fit this wheel and tire combination. And then next thing after that, we'll be setting the motor and transmission in it, which is a V10 Ford engine, and we'll have to build the firewall and the tunnel and the floor pans to meet all that, to match it, to make sure we got room in it.
Whole thing's coming along, it's looking pretty good. We've also started dollying out the roof. It looked like a bunch of kids have been on top of it playing at some time or another and caved it in. It's straightening up. Looks like it's going to be a pretty cool, unique ride, especially once it gets that Ford V10 power down there.
It's going to have big brakes. I mean, it's going to be a modern chassis. Drive it anywhere. Air conditioned. Probably have 700-800 horsepower. Best of everything. Then we're talking about doing some body mods on it too. Me and Billy was just going over the front fenders. We're going to like the way this rear wheel, you can see the top of it right here. And right now it's tucked too much in the front. So we're probably gonna cut this and move this line up to where to match in the rear, so it don't look so slammed in the front. But me and Billy was trying to figure out which way to go with that.
Trying to keep it from looking like the 80s, jacked up in the rear. Even though it's slammed and moderate, we're trying to get it down in the grass. Trying to keep it where it looks natural and not.
And I mean,
it
it looks low, and it's really not that low. It's still a mile off the ground, so it's still going to be plenty drivable. We're also talking about maybe flaring the sides a little bit. The 65s and 6s are flat-sided, and we're kind of like the 67 and 8 body styles a little more. So, and me and Billy Marshall, all of us been talking about how to flare this out some.
We flare it out a little bit, it'll sort of give it a pretty curvy look to it. Help with the tire wheel clearance.
A lot of people don't realize just this little character line indentation here really takes away for your scrub radius inside your fender wells and clearances. So that's the reason why we're trying to figure out how to get it bowed out enough to where you don't have to suck the tires in 5 inches to get to where it turn left or right. Trying to figure out how to raise this up, match the rear as far as the cosmetics and the outfield, but also try to gain turn radius in the front end.
Yeah, right now it wouldn't turn.
No.
So we gotta.
It'd be great straight on the car right now.
Yeah.
Possibly if you got somebody.
And we want to build it to where it's drivable. That's all the cars we build. I mean, we're building to drive. They don't just sit around and look pretty.
No trailer queen.
Yeah.
By keeping that tread bit open as much as possible like that, it'll help plant that V10 power to the ground a little bit.
Yeah, that's what, and all of us have raced off and on all of our life, not all of our life, but that's what we're trying to incorporate in our chassis is the durability, the handling, and most of these guys, you'll see a lot of videos, we watch them all the time ourselves, guys doing stuff, and they have no clue what they're doing. They're just doing it because, well, so-and-so. We've got a lot of experience as far as the geometry, what handles, what you can and can't do. I mean, and you'll see guys, they'll put stuff on there, well, this is where it welds in here, and you're looking at it and you're going like,
That ain't right.
that ain't right.
We typically use, or a lot of people typically use Mustang 2 front ends. We're going to step this one up a little bit. We're going to use Corvette spindles that'll have huge 14-inch rotors. The geometry and everything will be a lot better for handling. It'll take some time between me and Billy and Robbie and all of us to figure out the geometry, but it'll be worth it in the long run.
It comes with that Corvette has a better caliper package also than the way you can step up your Mustang 2 stuff, but Mustang 2's kind of
Outdated.
and this, I mean, it's good, it's great stuff.
It's way better than what this was.
Exactly.
Way better.
Exactly.
I mean, and they do drive pretty good, but there's better stuff out there now that will help it even more.
There's a lot of our customers do like the Mustang 2 stuff, but they're not looking for a giant performance type deal where they're also not going with a V10 with a full tube chassis or built chassis. So Corvette sounds like a lot better package to start out with. It's going to be unique. I think the scrub radius and the bump steer on the Corvette spindles already, the Corvette spindles already have a lot of the geometry built into them, to where the Mustang 2 is still basically the same spindles what's on the S10 and everything else. It's not really, they're rated for running 100 mile an hour maybe at the most, which you're not supposed to, but I mean, I wouldn't
get over 120, 130 or do anything crazy like that because the geometry is not there. But Corvette's designed to run 140, 160. Just GM spent more time on that package than anything else.
It's a taller spindle too,
Right.
which it'll help with the geometry. It's easier to lay it out.
Well, now that you're inside the car, you can see that everything, the floor, the trunk pan, all of the toe boards and all that stuff's been cut out. If these guys didn't go in here and put these braces in place, this thing would fold up into just a pile. So you can tell they've gone in here and really put the supports in here so it would stay rigid. My assignment, until the paint and body work comes along, is to try to get some of these original features that's probably going to get torched if I don't. So I've been trying to get some of this stuff that costs money.
I've already gotten in trouble.
We got to save the foot pedal. That's
what I was
important.
fixing to say. I'm
It looks like
surprised.
it's gotten a little hot at some point. It's black on the bottom, so we got to make sure.
Yeah, we still got some more. I mean, that firewall is completely coming out. So anything you want in there that you want to keep, you better get it out.
Yeah, because this car, and I've been told from these guys that they're looking to maybe move the firewall back a little bit because it is a big honking motor going to go in this thing, and it needs to be mentioned too. This is a rare case, at least for us, or for me even more so. This is a 65 Mustang Fastback. These things are collectible. They're getting harder and harder to come by. They're getting harder and harder to pay for. But this car was kind of rough. It had rust in a lot of places that would have been a little bit harder to fix than most. So this is the perfect car. We don't go around cutting up really nice cars unless there's a customer request. But typically, this is the kind of car you want to start something because you're going to have to be in all these places anyway. So why not make it all new?
That's what's funny. It comes from a restoration, a full restoration guy. I think our motto is cut them and gut them.
Cut them and gut them. And see, that's
It don't bother
that's
me a bit.
horrifying to me. And these guys don't care about cutting up stuff, and that's good because if it was left up to me, we wouldn't be where we are in this car. I would have been trying to salvage what was here, replace the floor pans and all that. And the car would, I mean, it would be a cool car. It'd be it'd be good for the purist. But this is going to be a bad ride. I mean, it's going to be bad from the front to the rear bumper. It's going to be really cool. You can tell that on the inside we still got some stuff to do. The car was actually sandblasted inside and out about 3 years ago, but we're probably going to have to blast it again to strip it down and get it ready. But the stage you see the car in right now, we still got the car show coming up July 1st. We're hoping everybody's going to be able to come out and join us for the car show and take part. And this car will be here. You'll be able to see how far along we've got. We've got about, what, 2-3 weeks to the car show. This has been done in a week. Troy's thinking that there might be a frame under it. I don't know. We'll just see. But it'll be something to look for when you're here, along with the McLeese truck, the 55 Olds, the 50 Chevrolet, all the things that we had mentioned. They'll be right here. We're going to have a big time. We're going to be having a lot of entertainers here, food as well, just like we had mentioned. So don't want you to forget about that show. I want everybody to come out and have a good time with it. Cut!